because I didn't ask a lot of questions up front, a lot of times there'd be a lot of going back and forth, and there'd be more meetings than needed to be. There would be more emails, there would be more phone conversations in order to clarify. And honestly, it could have all been taken care of in a more streamlined manner, a more efficient manner time-wise, if I just spent a little bit of time and thought a little bit more about the questions that I asked them on the initial sit-down. Hi, this is Rob G, and welcome to Savvy. Thank you for tuning in today. Today I want to talk to you about quality questions leading to higher profits. And why questions? Well, I could think back to a time when I wasn't the best at asking a lot of questions. I would sit with a client and I would really let them tell me what their challenges were or what they perceived their challenges to be, and let them tell me what the solutions were that they needed. So if somebody needed a logo, I listened to them. I asked them a couple of questions about their business, and there'd be a lot of general questions there, really more relationship building type stuff, nothing having to do necessarily with the job at hand, but just building a rapport, which is important too, but I didn't ask specific questions as it pertained to the job itself. And I would think I would have enough information to go on and go home and do up some designs and show them, and it didn't always work out to the best way that it could have worked out. And the reason is because a lot of times clients don't know what they really want. They call you up because they know they have a challenge or problem, and they think they have the solution. So they call you up, tell you what the solution is. And if you're in the order taking mindset, somebody calls you up and says, I need a website. You say, I do websites. You build them a website, they pay you when you're done. It's not exactly the best way to conduct business if you really want to help businesses solve their problems, that is. And so, because I didn't ask a lot of questions up front, a lot of times there'd be a lot of going back and forth, and there'd be more meetings than needed to be. There would be more emails, there would be more phone conversations in order to clarify. And honestly, it could have all been taken care of in a more streamlined manner, a more efficient manner time-wise, if I just spent a little bit of time and thought a little bit more about the questions that I asked them on the initial sit-down. So if you're just starting out, then maybe you don't know exactly what questions to ask. If you're starting in a new offering for your business, so if you do logo design and you're just getting into doing websites, well, maybe you have to ask a large amount of questions in order to kind of feel your way through a new process. So in that case, the quantity of questions becomes more of what you'll be doing, which is fine as long as they're targeted towards the job at hand. So the best way really is to start asking a bunch of questions and learn as you go. And so you can make your way to asking a lot more quality questions, which are less questions that get right to the point. So the questions that you want to get right to the point of involve the company's goals. And it always comes back to goals. You can't really help anybody unless you know what they're looking to do. What is their intentions? Why are they in business? And what means better business to them? What increases their revenues? You get what I'm saying here. So one of the first questions you actually want to ask, and it's a great question because it will kick off a whole bunch of other conversations. And that question is, what are your goals? What are the business's goals? What are you looking to achieve this quarter, this half, or this year? It's a great question because number one, it's going to give you the insight you need in order to ask some follow-up questions. And two, it really gets the client thinking about why you're sitting down. So if they call you up looking for something, in particular a deliverable, logo, website, brand identity, something of that nature, and you sit down with them and you ask them their goals, well then what you uncover from that conversation forward might be not just the only solution, or the solution they wanted to come up with might not be the thing that they called you on, if that makes sense. So you'll uncover things as you go. Once they've stated their goals and you've clarified their goals with them so that they know what they're after, then what you want to do is you want to ask them, what are the obstacles that are hindering you from reaching those goals? And right in there's that gap between the goal, between the challenge and the goal. There's a gap, and in there is where you're going to look to provide a solution. So if the thing that's keeping the company from gaining revenue is a website, well, then they're on the right track. But if they are having a problem with people even knowing they exist and remembering who they are inside the space of their industry, they could have a serious branding problem. Which brand identity is going to help them in that effort. So websites will become a part of the whole branding endeavor. So the answer to the question is, well, they probably, even if they have a logo is just an element of brand identity. So they might need a whole new brand identity, or they may need one to even get started. They probably don't have one because it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort in order to put together a proper brand identity system and guidelines in place for the company to execute on those guidelines. That basically is how you are going to help them solve their problems. And how do you do that? You ask the right questions. So start with the goals question, follow up with the obstacles question, and then really you're going to need to feel them out from there, and you're going to need to just get things going and get some energy flowing and let them start telling you some things about the company. And I promise you, through that conversation, you're going to uncover things, and they're going to reveal to you a lot more than just the thing they came to you for. So you can start providing more of more accurate solutions, more appropriate solutions to their problems, so that it may actually even become more than just the one little job. So not that you're looking to upsell necessarily. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about really helping them. Because let's face it, think about this situation. If they say they need a logo because they don't have one, and the reason they want a logo is because they feel it's going to help them grow their business, well then maybe that is not the only thing they need. And so if you just go ahead and design a logo and you give it to them and they go and run with it, and it doesn't solve their problem, you didn't really help them. And that's really what you want to be. You want to be a problem solver and help businesses overcome their challenges. So that's a real quick short video on the power of asking quality questions. And if you're not asking a lot of pointed questions, questions that have a very direct answer, well then you might not be going about your discovery process in the proper way, and therefore you're going to need to hone that a little bit to really dig and get to the deeper root of every business's challenge. So that's it for today. I'm Rob G. Remember, thanks for watching. And oh yeah, one more thing. Before I forget, I just want to say, spike some comments down below, hit the subscribe button. I got new content coming up every single week. And I do want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear your thoughts on this, on what we're talking about here, and on anything else you want me to cover or what you want to hear. Just hit me up and let me know, and we'll cover that in future videos. And as I was saying, remember, always be learning, always stay savvy. Thanks for watching.